Welcome to another episode of GeekOutdoors.com. So Cobra Kai Season 3 is finally here. And I'm just going to put it out there. I am absolutely a huge fan of Cobra Kai Season 1, Season 2, the original Karate Kid Part 1 movie, one of the best movies that I could remember seeing when I was a kid. And Karate Kid Part 2 is one of my all-time favorite movies of all time. And so I'm really biased on it. And so this one really gave me a lot of different feelings because in one sense, I was such a huge fan of everything that came before it. But on another sense, I'm like, oh man, are they going to mess this up? Because usually that's how it goes. And so the general story here, if you're not familiar, if you've never seen Cobra Kai Season 1 and Season 2, I suggest you go watch that first. But this basically takes place after the events of Cobra Kai Season 2. And so if you remember at the end of that season, they had a huge high school fight, and unfortunately Miguel is put into a coma. He got injured really bad, and Johnny Lawrence's life is just going down even worse, just as things were getting better, because John Crease is now taking over Cobra Kai, and even Daniel's son, Ralph Macchio, he's going through a lot. And so there's a lot of things that's going on after Season 2, and let's not forget all the kids that are involved in this. And so let's go ahead and get into the things that I really loved about Season 3. Starting off with the best thing out of all these seasons and all the movies is the characters. Cobra Kai did something so well in which it really turned it around from what you thought was in Karate Kid 1, 2, and, the subsequent other sequels, where it's primarily about Ralph Macchio's character of Daniel-san and Miyagi, and how he was the quote-unquote good guy. And with Cobra Kai, it flips that on his head, and now Johnny Lawrence is really the central character. And then you begin to realize that maybe Daniel-san wasn't the good guy, and maybe there isn't a good or bad guy, and that's what I really love what Cobra Kai Seasons 1 and Season 2 did. And in Season 3, it's no different. My favorite characters are obviously Johnny Lawrence and Daniel-san, and in this particular season, they go to another level with those two characters, and even more so with John Kreese. This is really the John Kreese show in Season 3, because they really delve into the backstory of this character, trying to show you why he is the way he is. And the cool thing about this character is the fact that the writers didn't just make him a simple bad guy. Some of the best villains are the ones that have many layers. And what Cobra Kai Season 1 and Season 2 has done is they've added a lot of layers to these characters that were, I would say, more surface level, especially in the movies, so you can't kind of predict who they are. But whenever they had Cobra Kai Season 1, Season 2, and now Season 3, they are more fleshed out. And it's not just those characters. Daniel-san's wife, LaRusso's wife, she plays a much big role, and I really enjoyed it. And there's also all the returning characters of the kids, and they play also a major role in basically transitioning over to the next chapter of Cobra Kai. And there's going to be a lot of other characters that you know and love from previous Karate Kid movies. And so that's something that I absolutely love about this series, and it's the best thing about it. The second thing is the overall story itself. This is the one part that I was really worried about, because how can they continue the awesomeness that they had in Season 1 and Season 2, but they did it here. In this case, it follows what happened, but at the same time, there's so many story elements, what these characters going through, and it all affects each other. Even though you might not see it at this point, as you're watching these 10 episodes, they're all interconnected, and I think it was done oh so well. And the story also has a lot of the humor that you know and love, and I just really enjoyed the story overall. And even the way it ended it off, I think just like Seasons 1 and 2, they ended off in the right note to where you want to see the continuation of this story. And that was the thing that I was most worried about, that this third season might not live up to that, but it did. And then the final thing I absolutely enjoyed about this entire season and the rest of the series is nostalgia. Man, the writers of this show, they know exactly who their target audience is. This is made first and foremost for Karate Kid fans, and now the Cobra Kai fans. And so if you've ever watched any Karate Kid movie, you're going to get that here. And the way in which they do it very respectfully. And as I stated a little bit earlier, Karate Kid 2 is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I really enjoyed Karate Kid 1. And in Season 3, you're going to get both of those in force, and done oh so well. And I'm not going to spoil anything here, But let's just say if you were a fan of those movies, then you're absolutely gonna love Cobra Kai Season 3. For serious YouTubers, check out TubeBuddy, the premier tool news at geekoutdoors.com. Get more done today by checking out the affiliate link in the description area below. Now getting to the things that I didn't quite enjoy as much, even though I absolutely love the characters in Cobra Kai and Karate Kid, it's the best thing about this series. In Season 3, the kids kind of take a back seat. So you still have all the characters that you don't love, minus Aisha. You know, you have Miguel, Tori, Robbie, Hawk, everybody else involved, but they don't really change that much in this season. It's more or less more of the same. You still have this kind of weird love triangle. You also have the battle of the dojos. And, you know, you have Robbie going through his own thing, but it doesn't really go much deeper than that. And I think this was done for a reason because, as I stated a little bit earlier, this is primarily about Daniel, Johnny, and John Crease. You know, it's really not about the kids. And it kind of makes sense because eventually those main characters that we know and love, they're not going to be the main characters anymore. These kids, they're going to be the next generation if they continue the Cobra Kai series, or maybe they make a movie or they have a spinoff. It can't be about those original people. So I kind of get it, but it kind of like took you out of those kids characters who were the central characters, really more of a central character, I would say, in seasons 1 and even season 2. And so in this case, they're there. There's just not much development in them. And then another thing that I didn't quite enjoy as much in this season is, even though the action and fighting, it's really cool, for some reason it felt more comic booky. You know, I don't know how to explain that, because when you're watching Karate Kid or Cobra Kai, you're not looking for realistic karate or martial arts, okay? I mean, I get that. It's more entertainment. But for some reason, I felt like the action in this particular season, it was more unbelievable than it normally is. Let's just say that. And I would say the best fighting is in the last few episodes, and so definitely stick around to those last episodes, and that's just my personal opinion on that. Maybe if I rewatch it, I might change my mind, but other than that, I really feel Cobra Kai Season 3 is absolutely awesome. You know, I really feel Cobra Kai as a whole is going to be one of my favorite series, shows, whatever, of all time. It's already there for me. And if you are a fan of Karate Kid and now Cobra Kai, then you're going to love this season. And if you are not a fan, well, watch it. And I'm pretty sure you will become a fan. And I cannot wait for what's coming up next. Everybody in this show, you know, the writers, the set designers, of course, the actors and actresses, everybody involved has done an amazing job. And I'm so happy that it has come to Netflix, because now it can live a life way beyond YouTube Red or anything else. And so that is it for my review of Cobra Kai Season 3. If you actually had any thoughts on this, be sure to leave that in the comments area below. And if you wanted to see more of my martial arts films reviews, then I do have an entire playlist on that as well. It's more like international film reviews. I'll leave that in the description area below as well. So as always, if you did get value out of these videos, be sure to share, like, and subscribe. And if you're a creative geek like me, and you want to get exclusive access to more content that I don't put out here publicly on my YouTube channel, then join my Gold Content Creators group, where you're going to get content like this and more for all the creative geeks out there. And the best part is, all of this is free. Simply head over to the link below, check out my page, and sign up for my Gold Content Creators group.